Today's show, we're taking a look from McFarlane Toys from the Spawn collection, She Spawn. Stay tuned. All right, everyone, welcome back to the show. Welcome back. And I'm extremely happy to actually reviewing the She Spawn from McFarlane Toys from the McFarlane line. And before we begin, guys, before we take a look at the housekeeping, because we've got a lot to look at, a lot to talk about the figure, want to dedicate today's show and big shout out to Rated Comics, who not only is a friend of the channels, but Nate and his team are out there on their channel giving you the exclusives on what's going on, not only with indie comics, but with the McFarlane comics, Image Comics. And right now, he's got a great review on the Scorch. And if you're not familiar with the Scorch, that is McFarlane's version of the Avengers, all the Hellspawns coming together to create a team to fight a big threat that is on the horizon. So if you get a moment, guys, follow the link below in the comment section. Go out there, show some love to Rated Comics, and when you do get there, let them know Red sent you. With that said, let's jump in. We've got a lot of housekeeping, a lot to look at here, because McFarlane, with all his look at all this plastic, he definitely, when it comes to his action figures, he definitely gave us a lot. We're going to begin. I'm going to go ahead and choose right here her melee weapon here. Look at this beautiful sword or knife that we're looking at here for Jessica. And guys, you need to pick up the comic. You need to pick up the Scorch, because it's a phenomenal story. Give Rated Comics a chance. Go out there, listen to the story, volume 1, which is what I'm on right now, catching up on there. So look at this. Look at the design of that. Look at that. That's just absolutely beautiful. And we're going to take some time with Jessica, because we're going to need to show you guys her, not only her articulation and the things that got going on. We also got to show what I'm about to show you now, which is the one hand that McFarlane included. And guys, do not force it. This goes on her left hand. Do not force it, guys. You need to use a blow dryer, and that's what we're going to do when we're switching it out, to make sure the figure is nice and warm before we put these hands on her. And then we'll try putting in all the weapons. Let's take a look at the other melee weapon. Look at this thing, man. This is something out of the Star Trek, but it's just McFarlane. Looks a little bit like Spawn's foot, but in a weapon. Look at that. It's even got the wrappings, the leather wrappings. You can't beat the level of details McFarlane is throwing in here. So, you know, a lot of people complain about the DC Comics action figures, or he didn't get it right. But if there's one thing McFarlane loves, is the passion that he's showing in his own stuff. And that's making me fall in love with more of Image Comics and following more. And guys, if you notice on my community post, I've been all over that Haunt. That's just a fantastic story. Now, this gun here, this is all over the place. This looks like Jessica took it and made a mishmash. And it does come with a chain on here. I really haven't explored where this chain goes, but it could go anywhere you take it off the gun. But look at the brass coloring of the gun, the straps. It's just phenomenal. And it's just a mix-up of all different kinds of gun. And we're going to see it on Jessica. So I'm going to, you know, take them off, put them on, and show them. Then I heard that Jessica is very big with her sniper rifles. And look at that thing. Look how beautiful that is. So there's a lot of stuff you can definitely put on the figure. And to be honest with you, with all the guns she has, this is actually my favorite. This is probably the one I'm going to pose, because you do know, guys, that a lot of you have been busy watching McFarlane releasing all these DC figures and the Dark Knight wave, But you do know that in the spring collection, Monolith is coming out and Medieval Spawn is coming out. So that should be completing your Scorch collection. All right, guys, if you notice, I've got Jessica on the stand. Typical McFarlane stand, it says Spawn on it. The problem is she doesn't stand up. Her hair is too top heavy, and it's making her fall. The stilettos that she's wearing. So I'm going to bring her over. So if the stand does fall off her foot, that's okay. We'll pick it up. But let's take a look at the details from Jessica. Let's look at that beautiful red hair, sculpted, flowing. You know, the only thing is that I was messing around and I thought that maybe the hair would interrupt her flow on it. But, you know, if she's talking to a character or you have her animated in your stop motion, you just got to take the hair into consideration on there. I would have preferred McFarlane, maybe a separate piece or a separate head with the hair just being static behind her, but that's okay. This just makes her look really, really cool on there. Look at that. Look at the details. Look at the waves, guys. I mean, I really was not, I'm not going to lie to you guys. I really was never going to review her. And I'm being sincere. You guys can hate me for it. You guys can leave the comments you want. But reading the Scorch and reading how she's leading that team, it's just amazing. Look at the details of her uniform. It's a little different than Spawn, but she's just looking great. And just to forewarn you guys, the spikes do hurt. So when you're going to switch out hands, which we'll show later, warm up the pieces. You guys didn't notice. Let me move her hair out of the way. Look at that. She's got that beautiful skull there. Plastic that obviously McFarlane didn't waste any time. He definitely got Sir Mix-a-Lot in there to help out with that part of the sculpting. As usual, McFarlane, that's what you got going on there. Oops, there's the stand. So let's see how she stands up here without it. As you can see, she's about to fall. She's extremely top heavy and the stilettos are not helping. Let's see if we can get her to stand. If not, we'll just grab that piece again from the ground. Okay, so I did get her to stand. Chances are she'll make me look bad, but I like to put her back on the stand before we take to do the articulation piece. Let's put her back here, and look at that. Just phenomenal, man. This is just, I'm really blown away by the level of details. The gun, the brass on the guns is just phenomenal, man. This is just great. McFarlane hit it out of the park. And honestly, as much as I love McFarlane doing the DC, I want him to focus more on the action figures. And the only reason I'm saying that is because I'm in the middle of writing the script for Haunt, and I'm gonna need some of the figures from that storyline, starting with Apparition and possibly Cobra, which is one of the enemies from Haunt. Either way, I'm making my own Cobra for my series. So, like a film director, it's called problem solving. Everybody's got their own vision when they make the movies and how they make the look. So, in a few minutes, we will, after I finish posting all these in here, we will take her to warm up her hand and see what the other hand looks like. In the meantime, why don't we start fitting in some guns and see what it looks like. I'm going to grab the first weapon here, see what this looks like in her hands. And her hands are a little bit tough. So with that said, guys, let's go warm up the guns and her hands, and we'll take it from there, okay? Be right back. And just like that, we're back. You do have to warm up the hands for her to wrap around the weapon, guys. It is a little tough. Now, this gun's all over the place. There's a lot of handles you can put her hand, but I chose there. It looks pretty cool there, as you can see that. It does continue to make her more top heavy, making her lean forward a little bit more with this gun. So in the next few minutes, we'll put on the next weapon, which will be her sniper rifle. We'll take a look at how beautiful that looks on her. And we're back, and she's got the sniper rifle now. As you can see, look how beautiful that is. A little bit bended here, guys, on that, so it's from the packaging. But as you can see, looks really good in her hands. I can open it like that. This one's not as much weighted or heavy as the other one is, but it's okay. It looks really, really good on her. Looks fantastic. The details, she can grip it carefully. Just make sure that you put the finger through the loop after you heated it up, and you know, looks fantastic. She looks great. This will look great on your shelf. Let's take a look at the other gun. And just like that, we've got Jessica back again with her third gun, which looks great on her. Just looks like a badass posing with it. Put it over here so you guys can see her on there. It's just phenomenal. Looks great. Looks fantastic. So with that said, let's continue. And then last but not least, guys, I put the two melee weapons in her hand so you guys can take a look at what they look like here. So go ahead and bring that down so you guys can see that there. And so far, it's just looking fantastic. It's a fantastic looking figure. The weapons look amazing. So with that said, guys, let's remove the weapons already from her. Let me take these off. Let's jump into the articulation. But before we do, let's see if we can pull. Now that the hand is hot. And you have to be careful, guys. It does hurt. You heard the pop. Putting her open hand in there. Pop. There you go. This is what the hand looks like. So as you guys can see that. So with that said, I'm going to remove the stand, guys. And let's take a look at her articulation. We can see here that she can go like that. No obstruction from her uniform or her armor, if we're going to call it that. We do see that there might be or there might not be a bushing in there for that. We do know her head does go like that because we did it earlier. She can look up, she can look down. So I've seen a lot of people posing her on a motorcycle, especially the Batman one. So, and since on the cover of her magazine, or almost like if it's a Playboy, on the cover of the Scorch, she is on a motorcycle. So do we get a bicep swivel? Let's take a look, guys. We do. We do get a bicep swivel here. We got the double jointed. We saw that she can articulate her wrist. She's got that in that right there. It does articulate in there. And be careful, guys. Like I said, when you're taking the hands out, be careful. That little knob can break, okay? So do we get a waist swivel? We do. Do we get a bottom swivel? We may not. It is a little bit stiff on there. Her legs do stretch out like that. They do go forward. Does she have a crunch? She has a crunch this way. She has a crunch that way. We do get the double jointed. Last but not least, guys, we get the ankle swivel. And it does go up and down. And we do get the toe articulation. Sadly, guys, because of her hair, the McFarlane toy is extremely heavy. So, you've got to put her back on the peg. You've got to have her standing there on there so she can stand up, and that way she's not falling. Overall, it's a fantastic figure. I can tell you guys that I'm very, very genuinely pleased with it. I'm happy that I got it. And sorry, I hit my microphone. And with that said, guys, let me know what you think about this action figure. Is this something you will be collecting? Is this something that you will be adding to your collection? Let me know in the comments. And if you like today's show, don't forget to hit the notification to get notified. Don't forget to hit the like that you like today's show. And most importantly, guys, which you have been helping me. As of today's show, I am at 400 subscribers. So big thanks to a lot of you. Big thanks to Angelo Collections. Big thanks to Gable's Girl. Big thanks to Bones, especially Rated Comics, for their recent shout out of the channel. With that said, me and Jessica, or She Spawn, we're done with this review. So we are definitely